Hello, it's me, Wasabi, and today's video is to help anyone who's looking to buy a Zowie DW series mouse. Because Zowie's mice are shaped for very specific purposes, they do not go for a one shape or size fits all kind of approach. And this is why you'd notice each mouse looks rather distinct, and for each one, they usually release a small, medium, and large size. So today we are gonna take a look at, well, all the shapes in the DW series except for the EC-DW, which is yet to be available in my region at the time of this video. If you are looking for the best comfort and support for the palm or relaxed claw grip styles and you don't mind an ergo shape, definitely check out the EC-DW. Okay, so let's start with the U2-DW. The U2 is the newest shape that Zowie has made. The original U2 was launched in January 2024, designed for the claw grip user, and the intention of the design is for agility with multi-angle movement. The sides of this shape cave in, it feels sort of skinny down the middle. Think of it like a shape of a pear. Slight curve up front, gets narrower down the waist, and opens up widest towards the back. This is a shape that makes you feel locked in holding onto the mouse. The rear end hump of the mouse feels the width and up to the midpoint of my palm when using a claw grip style. But for many people, they feel that this shape sort of forces your hand into a certain posture, and that is quite true. I do get that feeling. So if you are looking to try this model, best if you already main a claw grip style, because then you would find it easier to adapt to. While I do not feel that this is the most comfortable shape from Zowie, it is comfortable enough that I'm fine using it for work and gaming. It's very supportive for the claw grip style, and I sure do feel like I have a very secure hold on the mouse. I use this mouse for pretty much all games that I play: Valorant, Overwatch 2, Space Marine 2, and Helldivers 2 as well. Also, this is the lightest mouse that they have right now. It weighs in at 60 grams while the rest weighs in at 65, which in today's market makes the Zowie U2 the most attractive model. The ZA13-DW is made for flicking. Designed for the claw grip style as well, you got full arm support on the small body and it's narrow at the waist. So in practice, you have excellent control with your flicks. To me, this is a very interesting shape. There's really nothing quite like it in my opinion, at least not until more recently when Lamzu released the Inca mouse. This is not a mouse that I'm comfortable using for a full day on my computer, but just for a couple of hours of gaming using a claw grip style, it's brilliant. It's also not a shape that I enjoy using for tracking. For example, when I'm playing Soldier 76 on Overwatch 2, the high hump makes vertical movements feel sort of restrictive. Horizontal movement though feels brilliantly stable and consistent. My best experience with this mouse was playing tactical FPS with a low mouse sensitivity on a control pad. The S2-DW is a tracking machine. It is the smallest of all symmetrical shapes that Zowie has in the DW series. This one is a stubby shape designed to give the most stability and to feel agile for a tracking style of gameplay. It's got a very flat hump and wide arches towards the back, and it's made this way to sort of reduce the amount of contact your hand has on the shape. So in practice, you have more freedom of movement while still being able to anchor the mouse against the sides of your lower palm. Made for the claw grip style as well, there are no deep curves on the sides, but just like the ZA13 and the FK2-DW, the side panels are angled inwards, which is meant to make the mouse easier to lift and reposition on the mousepad. After experiencing all the shapes, the length and height of the S2-DW to me feels the most comfortable to track rapidly across all directions on the mousepad. And this is a shape that I prefer using specifically for Overwatch 2 and casual titles. The FK2-DW is designed to allow the user to do micro adjustments easily. It's a shape that is designed for the fingertip grip style according to Zowie, and having such a low profile design, it sure does leave a lot of space on the top that allows your hand to easily maneuver the mouse and have very good control with your micro adjustments. I think that this shape and size works best for larger hand sizes than mine, because this is one that I felt was not easy to adapt to. The length of the mouse just doesn't work with a fingertip grip style for my hand size. This is my least favorite shape from Zowie, but I know there are still quite many people out there who love using a low profile mouse like this. So as you can tell, each mouse was designed for a very specific purpose. It really depends on the game that you play, or in some games, the character that you play. But of course, if you like a specific shape, there is no need to feel restricted, because obviously you can use any shape for anything. Zowie doesn't have a universal shape like the Superlight 2, the Viper V3 Pro, or the Lamzu Maya X. Their shapes are all very specific, which makes it very difficult to recommend to gamers who haven't had the chance to experience a variety of mice before. So for me, after experiencing all of those mice, for tactical FPS, I would use the Zowie U2, the ZA13-DW, or the FK2-DW. And for faster paced FPS like Apex and Overwatch 2, the U2-DW and S2-DW would feel pretty good. For me, me, the U2 shape has been one that I can aim consistently well for both tactical and fast-paced FPS because I don't just play one game. But even so, the Zowie U2 shape is not the most comfortable experience, but it works well for my hand and how I aim. If you're looking for the easiest to pick up and use comfortably, I feel that the safest shape would be the S2-DW. Even while this is shaped to give the best for a tracking style of gameplay, from my experience, it is the most comfortable out of the four to use for long hours. And if you're open to using an ergonomic shape, the EC3-DW is about to be released soon, and that is Zowie's most iconic shape that historically lots of CS professionals use. That is the most comfortable shape I've ever used with a pump grip style, and the good news is that all three sizes, the small, medium, and large, are planned to be released within the same quarter. I will leave the release date information for the EC3-DW in the description down below. I won't be reviewing that mouse so soon because for some reason here in APAC, we only get the mice months after the US, which is weird because Zowie is from Taiwan. And I find it quite funny because by the time the products reach this region, people already bought a Superlight 2 or Viper V3 Pro on sale. So what do I like about Zowie Mice? The main reason for me is simply the feeling of using a quality product in my hand. It's a product that takes itself seriously, and I appreciate the effort and testing that goes into the development of each shape. So as a consumer, at least for me, it really does feel good to use and own a mouse from them. The next thing is that every model in the DW series has the 4K enhanced receiver that is also a charging dock. Not something that high-performance gaming mice have these days. They all use the same shaped mouse feet, so if you have more than one DW series mouse, when you purchase third-party skates online, you can use it on whichever model in the DW series. Of course, if you use dot skates, compatibility is never an issue, but for me, I enjoy using full-size skates a lot more. I really like that it's driverless and you don't need to open up a software to tweak a setting. But on the topic of driverless, keep in mind that you cannot remap the buttons or do very fine adjustments to the DPI. You can only cycle through DPI presets. And one more thing that I like is the clicks on a Zowie mouse are very satisfying for me. DW series mice all have Huano transparent blue shell pink dot mechanical switches. The physical feedback that I feel at my fingertips is a very nice feeling for me. Now, final thoughts, the launch of the Zowie DW series comes off as an upgrade for people who love their mice shapes from the past. And if you're familiar with Zowie, you can tell that they are not about churning out as many new mice as possible. What they're doing is offering unique shapes that are developed with the findings through sports science. And from my experience, it does feel like the shapes prioritize performance and efficiency more than comfort. This is simply what Zowie does and why their shapes are an inspiration for many mice that you see on the market today. And if you manage to find a shape and size from them that works for you, it will feel better than, say, compared to a generic universal shape for sure. But of course, not everyone has the luxury to buy every single shape, so if you can, visit a store or a Zowie event and get a feel of the shapes. And as for the prices, I have no news about how Zowie plans to adjust its pricing for the rest of the year. The news about the tariffs leaves a lot of uncertainty for brands right now. Zowie mice are not cheap, and for many people, the shape and quality made it feel worth it. But after the news in the US, if prices are to go up, which I'm pretty sure they will, consumers will definitely consider all options available, but only time will tell. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful in any way, please leave a like and subscribe to support my channel, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.